had 3 amputations in 10 days because nobody paid attention. She had gangrene in her foot that you could smell, and no one said anything or did anything. After she had given her entire life to that church that she was a part of. And her friends, because of her pride, didn't know how to do anything for her, because it's not really allowed for you to take in help from people. If you know, we're a proud family, like that's a good thing to be, and then you don't take help in. First they cut off her toes, and they cut off the front half of her foot, and then they cut off her leg up to the knee, all amputations within 10 days. Okay, I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix that. I need enough clout and power, and I need enough people who are like, tell me what to do and I will do it. I'm like, great, we're going to descend on this place. I have this vision of these posses of young people who get it about our elders, like they really get it, and they like do things, and then there's more and more of them, and they do it in cities all over the country, and then that gets to be a really sexy and wonderful thing where you've got these young people bridging into these elders' lives and making sure that their wisdoms don't get lost. And that they get cherished at the end of their days after they've given so much, and they get to be cherished and held and celebrated. And these young people get to up-level faster because they get lessons from these elders that are direct, and they hear these wonderful stories about how it used to be, and they see the past through fresh eyes, and they can pull the wisdoms out of the past into the present because they're young people and they can do anything. I sit around all day. This is what I think of all day long. I just think of stuff like this. I have hundreds of initiatives, hundreds like that. I do 5 to 10 a day. And then I work with them and try and make them so that they're marketable, so that people will buy it and do it and learn how to be good and nice. You need to learn how to be good and nice. You need to learn how to be good and nice. It's not good, it's not sexy to be mean. Oh, it's just not. Gotta take the wrinkles out. Gotta take the wrinkles out. Gotta take the wrinkles out. Makes things better. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be good enough. You learned about good enough, it just has to be good enough. That's why Julie does the things, because it may not be perfect, but it's good enough, and it's a better world. It may not be the best one, it's better than the one we have. I know you got the camera on, and it's okay, because folks need to hear it's not going to be hard to make things better. We just got to do it. Just got to do it. We got to do it now. I'm going to get Julie, okay? You know, last night, that was LJ. Just so you know, when the hands get going, that's usually LJ. It's a stemming thing, you know, for autistic kids.
What's stemming?
Stemming, yes, it's stimulation. It's a stemming thing. Like you'll see her, you know, I usually have something in my pocket. Maybe I usually have something in my pocket. I'm playing with things. And when the hand, particularly when it's like a repeated hand motion, that's usually her. It's it's order.
Is that why the wrinkles have to get out?
It's order. It's order. It's predictable. Part of why nature is really hard for me is there's things flying in the air and leaves blowing everywhere, and there's cloud things happening, and you can't predict what's happening with the grass or like it's like there's all of these things, and you're supposed to, there's just all of these things. Even without LJ out, you will not find me in a TV department. I literally will go through an entire department store and I walk around the TVs. Okay, because if I get in there, you literally have to come get me and pull me out. There's channels and and that's it. Like Penny, when I have to do something, she usually goes down before me and turns off the television in the kitchen. Because I will come downstairs, and if I'm in a hurry, so then everybody's like the thing, and I'll literally get in front of the television, and it's like and it's like this. It's like, caught. And that's it. So she usually will turn the television off before I come down if I have to go do a thing. You know, they're little things that make a big difference for folks who have stuff, whether it's autism or whatever. They're little things that you can do that make, an enormous difference. The way you put something back, or how you figure things out with them, and how you are with them, and how you do the logic training, what have you. The thing is, everybody who's really close to me has learned what to do with the person who comes out most with them. Like, Kalidasi, Juju and Kalidasi have a very special relationship. And the way she surrounds Juju and makes spaces, you'll see it when Juju comes out with her, it's just stunning. And it's like, yes, I am a magical superhuman, and so little one, let me have rainbows in your space, and let me create little, like here's a unicorn coming your way. And she just does like all of these little things that just delight Juju and are magical, and it's just what Kalidasi does. And she's really deliberate about that energetic around her of, yes, I'm a superhuman who can do magical things, and I love you. Right? Totally different than, my vet friends who love Killer. Okay? They're like, Jules, we really want to talk with Killer, and we really don't want you to remember. Are you guys good? I'm like, I'm all good. And so they're like, and then they have conversation, and Killer doesn't tell me what they talk about. I'm like, that was great, man. I'm like, I don't want to know. Like, no, you don't want to know. Everybody's got their thing. And what I love is the way that folks who get it, they just dive right in. There's like, I had one friend who, when I realized there were people who had a lot of my folks, she would literally show up at the gathering, and she'd pull out this piece of paper. She says, okay, I need to talk with Juju first, and then, and she'd go down this list, and by the end of the gathering, she checked off her list, and she was just so happy she'd gotten all 9 people, and she's just like, and I got to talk with everybody, and it was just wonderful. Right? These are also the ones that when they have to go. I had a friend who needed to go to Texas. She's moving to Texas. And she came over here and spent 2.5 hours saying goodbye to each of my folks. That's what she came over to do, to make sure that everybody got a hug and a kiss and knew that she loved them and she would always be there for them to the best of her ability, and she was sorry she had to go. And it was 9 different conversations, completely different conversations, because they're different ages, they got different stuff, what have you, and, why can't this be the norm? I mean, why can't it, Maria? It's like the people at companies who've given LJ her own email. Well, dude, when you want the autistic savant to go through your 700-page document, you give her her own damn email.
For sure.
Right? Okay. LJ, I'm not talking to Julie. Alright, because Julie might mess this up. Sweetheart, we need you to go through the document and do blah, blah, blah. Okay? Like that. Instead of locking up you have a job that requires that someone sit for 8 hours and do a repeated task that is critical and needs to be hand done. You can always hire some 19-year-old who is bored out of their mind and complaining the entire time about having to stir this chai by hand, and I can't believe I'm doing this, and I'm sitting in this chair, and da da da. Or you could just hire a vet who's paralyzed from the waist down, who would love for somebody to hire her so that she can just sit and do something useful, and hire her to sit. She would be so happy to do this thing that makes a difference and get paid a decent wage. Instead of hiring several kids for piss money who are going to bitch about it the whole time, why don't you hire one vet who would be happy to do it for the full 8 hours instead of 2 4-hour shifts for more money and be blissed out? And by the way, why don't you make less money up front and take care of your people? My first